Good day, class. Our topic for this season is social mobility. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen someone who grew up in a very poor background, maybe in a small rural village, but later became a governor, a professor, or even a successful business person? That movement from one level of society to another is exactly what we mean by social mobility. As usual, my name is Adefemi and I am your lecturer for today, and we are still on the introduction to sociology. And today we are on Module 4, Unit 2, Social Mobility. And at the end of this unit, you should be able to understand fully the concept of social mobility and describe the types of social mobility. Okay, moving further. What is the definition of social mobility? Social mobility simply means the movement of people from one social position to another within a society. It can be movement upward, which is progressive, and or movement downward, which is one declining. So think about Dangote. His grandfather was a trader, but he himself rose to become African richest man. That is upward mobility. On the other hand, imagine a top politician who loses everything after corruption charge, from senator to prison inmate. That is downward mobility. So social mobility is like climbing a ladder. Some go up, some come down, and some remain at the same step. Okay, moving further. Types of social mobility. We have individual mobility. This is when one person moves from one class to another. For example, a young lady from being a middle class in Imo to becoming a world-renowned scientist. A personal achievement made her move upward. So that is individual mobility. Number two, group mobility. Here, a whole group moves upward or downward together. An example, during the apartheid in South Africa, the blacks were deprived from um, enjoying economic activity and resources. But today we have a lot of them who have become successful entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. So that is like um, a group mobility, moving upward, you know. Number three, we have career mobility. This has to do with changes in your social position as your career grows. An example, a young teacher starting in a local primary school later becomes a university professor. That change over their working life is career mobility. Number four, generational mobility. This is movement across generation, comparing parents and children. An example, a farmer's son who becomes a doctor or a governor has experienced upward generational mobility. So, globally, Barack Obama is an example. His father was from a poor village in Kenya, but Obama rose to become president of the United States. Number five, we have vertical mobility. This is moving either upward or downward in the social ladder. An example of that is a civil servant who is promoted to a permanent secretary. That is upward vertical mobility. If another is dismissed for corruption, that is downward vertical mobility. Number 6. Horizontal mobility. This is when you move but remain on the same level. An example, a bank manager in Access Bank Ibadan is transferred to Access Bank Lagos. He is still a manager, same level but different location. So what we talked about in this phase is type of social mobility, and I mentioned a couple of them. Say number 1, individual mobility; number 2, group mobility; number 3, career mobility; number 4, generational mobility; number 5, vertical mobility; and finally number 6, horizontal mobility. So moving further, I would like to throw more light, on the examples of you know the mobility, social mobility, from a Nigerian context and also from a global perspective. Now, in Nigeria, education is one of the strongest driver of upward mobility. A child from a poor background who earns a university degree and gets a good job can change his family's social class. However, mobility in Nigeria is not always stable because of tribalism, nepotism, and corruption. So sometimes who you know is more powerful than what you know. Who you know is more powerful than what you know. For example, during elections, we often see godfatherism at play. A young politician without resources may not rise unless supported by a wealthy political godfather. That means mobility is often influenced by, you know, ascriptive factors, not just personal merit. Okay? So, from a global perspective, in the United States, the American dream is based on the idea that through hard work you can rise to the top, from cleaner to CEO level. Now, in South Africa, after the apartheid, black South Africans experience new opportunity for upward mobility through education and government policies like black economic empowerment. So now in Nigeria, social media has become a tool for mobility. Think of people like Mr. Macaroni or Sabinus, who rose from obscurity to fame and wealth through comedy skits. Okay, that's by the way. In conclusion, social mobility is a very important concept in sociology because it shows us how flexible or rigid a society is. A society with high mobility means people can rise by working hard, based on merit. Number two, a society with low mobility means your birth determine your future. That is ascriptions based. So, as future sociologist, I want you to ask yourself, is Nigeria a society where anyone can rise, or are we still trapped by tribalism, corruption, and inequality? Okay, so a class activity for us. Think about your own family history. As your family experience upward, downward, or horizontal mobility across generation? So you can share your thought with us on the comment section. Have a good day, class.